So here I am, I'm kind of in this riddle and I'm going back and forth, and then I started doing some research. And I want to share with you some of the research that I found. Some relationships where people invested in one person and that person became greater than them. And I want to talk to you about how it's probably shaped your lives. Jim Rohn. Anybody know who that is? Okay. Anybody know who Tony Robbins is? Mentor to Tony Robbins. Freddie Laker. Freddie Laker. Everybody knows Freddie Laker, right? Oh, yeah. Mentored Richard Branson. Anybody know who Richard Branson is? Peter Drucker, Jim Collins. Ben Graham, Howard Buffett, Warren Buffett. Wow. Robert Patterson, Thomas Wilson, IBM. Robert McNamara, Lee Iacocca. Red Holtzman, Phil Jackson. Phil Jackson, Michael Jordan. Man, you really have to commit, don't you? These guys, now, we didn't hear a lot of those people in the first row, did we? Think about it. So I was like, wow, there are people that have committed to mentor or to push somebody up even further than they are, right? So what is that? Did those guys really get anything out of it, you think? Huh? Jeff Bezos, Sergey Brin and Larry Page. Amazon, Google. You think Jeff picked up some stock along the way? Right? Probably, didn't he? And so there was this relationship that I started to see. And what this relationship happened is that even though these people pushed these people to go to a level that it was beyond them, even though they pushed that, they were able to pull themselves along the way, weren't they? They elevated themselves by rising the tide because they were committed first to the idea. And when they committed to the idea, because they elevated that person to another level, that person pulled them as much as possible. Lorraine Ball, Kyle Lacey. Ellen Dunnigan, Scott Emmett. It happens all the time when we commit to finding somebody that we can be greater than us. And it's happened in this organization time and time again. So then I started thinking about the types of relationships we have in Rainmakers. And I started thinking about, well, we got mentors, right? We got clients. Anybody got clients? Okay, everybody should be raising their hand again, right? We do white labeling. Anybody doing white labeling? Resellers? Anybody got resellers? Come on, raise your hand. We got power circles. How many of you already got a power circle going? Great, right? We've got cooperation. Anybody doing cooperation? Trusted advisors, right? Talk about that a lot. We got support resources, people that we lean on. Advisory boards. There's a lot of type of relationships, aren't there? Lots of types. I want to introduce one to you called somebody that you are committing to make greater than you. Now, that's a different type of relationship, isn't it? You got to look at that human being and you've got to say to yourself, I want you to be better than me. And I'm okay with the fact that pushing you to go beyond me, you may leave me someday. You may do something else. You may never talk to me again. But because of that act, you will pull me along the way and I will go to another level. And so I was like, God, are people really that giving? Can they really take it? Because when we started Rainmakers, I tell you, the first year of doing Rainmakers, I was kind of doing an experiment. I wanted to see if this giver's gain thing really worked. I'm not that good a person. I wanted to see hey, if you do the right thing for people first and you proactively do it for a year and you really commit to it, will it work? I mean, everybody talks about it, but does it really work in a practical business application? I mean, really? Does it really work? Well, 1,500 people later, we figured that out, didn't we? And so, you know what? When I use that same logic, and I started breaking down the greater than you relationship, and I said, what are the benefits from having somebody greater that you believe can be greater than you? And I come up with a couple. They love your concept so well, so much, some ideas that you give them, that they elevate it and it goes to another level. And guess what? You still get credit for it. Because they're the one pointing. So he's the one that helped me come up with it. Look at you in this room. I come up with an idea that people took and ran. I get credit for it a lot. I don't deserve it. People took it and ran, and they elevated that idea to another level, and I get a lot of edification from it. Probably a lot that I don't deserve. Reciprocal inspiration. I want you to think about that. Today, I was writing this talk, and I was going through my notes, and I'm like, God, I'm kind of stuck here, and I came to a point, and the phone rings. It's Amy Woodall. Amy Woodall calls me, and she goes, hey, I just got to let you know, I had a 38-call day. I closed $14,000 in business. It's 3 o'clock, and I'm going home. Hoo-ah! Now, if you don't know Amy, like a year ago when we started coaching and working together, she was doing between $200 and $400 a month in sales. That was a big day. And I got to use this in my talk today, and it sounds really good right now. So reciprocal inspiration. She got me to move and keep going because she was telling me an inspirational story. Another thing that happens, drive. When you bring people along and they tend to push you to go another level, like Kyle, Lacey, and Lorraine goes, damn it, I got to kick up my game, don't I? I got to elevate where I'm going. I need to educate. I need to do some of the stuff that he's doing. And everybody moves faster, doesn't it? Don't they? So my drive heightened because I was surrounding myself with people that I started pushing, and they started pushing back, right? Mutual dependence. I started depending on people so much that I couldn't deal without them. Think about it. Does anybody have a business that's less than 5 people? Right? Okay. Now, when 2 of the players leave that business out of 5, what happens to the business? What happens? You're like holding on to the, what is that bar that they put right next to the car? Right? What is it called? You know what I'm talking about? They call it the O bar, right? And that's what you start to think about when somebody you depend on that much goes away, right? Holy Lord, I'm really dependent. Okay? Last thing I got, I picked up lifetime friends. Lifetime friends. People that will be my friends for a lifetime. How many of you got more of those than you need? Nobody? Nobody got more of those than you need? Nobody got more lifetime friends than you need? When you die, right, they're going to count all the money you made, and they go, hey, by the way, how many lifetime friends do they have, right? No, that's who shows up to the funeral. Who was there to tell you how great you were and talk about you. So I got some lifetime friends out of that, right? So you see these aggregated benefits that you get from committing to help somebody become greater than yourself? Looking them in the eye and say, you know, this is what I really want for you, and I'm going to push you to do it. You know what happens to the other person? What happens to the other person when you look at them and you say you can do it? I want you to be greater than me. What happens? I'll tell you what happens. They start walking a little taller, don't they? Start walking, wow, I've got this person that wants me to be here. They see something in me that I don't even see in myself. They want me to go to a level that I didn't even think was possible because they see it in me. Man, you can give that gift to everybody or anybody that you know almost on a daily basis. I'm not even asking you to do it to everybody. I just want you to do it to somebody. I want you to find somebody that you can do it with.